So we've had a relationship with Martin Gerrard since 2016. So we bought our current house through Martin Gerrard, in fact through Craig Tompkins, and then on and off over the years, Craig would come back and provide us with valuation and provide us with that support that we needed over that time. Really, in the last 2 years, my wife and I decided time to move. 2 kids now, decided to upscale. Obviously, having a dog as well on top, we thought now's the right time to go to look for something a little bit bigger. And first point of call for us when we were selling a house, we thought, well, Craig's obviously our man. We've been known Craig for a number of years and went straight to Craig and thought that's it. That's where we need to be to get the house on the market. They listed it very quickly. The advice that we got was first rate, was where we wanted to be. They came around and said nothing needs to be done to the house. It's a beautiful house, a lot of light, and it was the perfect timing because, of course, it ended the summer. So they were great in terms of supporting us. They did it whilst we were on holiday, so didn't interfere with obviously kids being around and having to fitting obviously that time at the end of the school holidays. And then the house was up on the market. They held an open house, and for us it was great because they managed to sell the house in 8 days. So we're under offer in 8 days, which was just where we really wanted to be. We couldn't have asked for more from Craig and Fatmir, and it was just that level of support that we had. We always knew we were going to get that from MG because we've had that relationship with them for years, and it just made such a difference for us to be in those safe hands. I mean, it's always that fear and the threat that you feel when selling your house and going through that process. You just don't know what could happen. But Craig and Fatmir at all times were just there, able to support us, regular chats on the phone, and because we're so close to the high road as well, we were able to just pop into the office, have a chat with them, and just always had that support, which was great. So it really did reassure us, and we could only speak too positively about MG as well. At the same time as selling the house, we were selling a flat in East Finchley. We decided, obviously, with the great experience we've had previously with Craig and Fatmir, we thought let's obviously bring on board MG. So we went to the East Finchley office, working with Andreas over there and Gabriella. And obviously it's a tough brief selling a flat in this market. A lot of landlords are selling up, obviously, rental properties. It was quite a challenge at that time. So we managed to get the property on the market. They were great straight away. Got obviously the photographs undertaken, got everything together very quickly. Flat was back on the market, and we were able to really get the right advice there in relation to selling our flat. And to make matters even better, we even got continued support from Craig's office in North Finchley. Fatmir was down there carrying out viewings with various parties coming to the flat on weekends and also in the week. And it just really was that support from both sides, from the North Finchley office and also the MG office in East Finchley. That support was great. We were constantly given that reassurance, and that helped to get it over the line. And by the time we concluded with the flat, I think we managed to sell it relatively quickly as well with the aid of MG. So it's been a really smooth process from start to finish here for us. Craig and Fatmir always been great in terms of communication. They really are switched on when it comes to that level. It's just very responsive, and they're very proactive as well. So as soon as there is an update, for example, it might be Craig or Fatmir, straight on a call, picking up WhatsApp as well, using WhatsApp very quickly so you can respond, get in touch. They're always contactable as well, which is great. There's no delay there. They're just quick at getting back to you. And equally, when there's an issue, they'll be straight on the phone to you to talk through and explain. And what I have found as well, it can be difficult when dealing with estate agents, but with MG, and what we experienced in both North Finchley and East Finchley, is that from both offices, they were there to support us, and they were there, if an issue did arise, they would be on hand to say, don't worry, we'll take this forward, we're going to sort this out with the buyer and discuss any particular issues that have arisen. If there's queries, they were able to do it. And even at the secondary stage to that, once we were getting towards exchange, brilliant. They got the solicitors moving. They made sure that the chain was moving, and they were quick to make sure if there were any potential delays on part of the solicitors, that they were straight in there to say, why are things slowing down? Let's get things moving. And that made, for us, a significant difference, because we've obviously heard lots of horror stories where people are left with not knowing what's happened, problems with freeholders, particularly as we were dealing with the flat as well. But at all times, we had that support, whether it was Craig, Fatmir, Andreas and Gabriella. they were on top of this at all times. So for us, it made such a difference to have, like I said, that reassurance, but also that professional support. And I think this is the thing, when you look at the argument that people now will go to various other companies and say, oh, I can sell my house myself or my flat myself, I just wouldn't recommend it. I mean, obviously you have to pay a percentage, but it's worth every penny. And what we got from this was a quick sale. We got the support throughout. And I can say now for sure, if we were in that position selling ourselves or carrying out viewings ourselves, there is no way, one, we would have got the offers we received for both properties, but also the support to get things through to exchange and then towards a quick completion. It was all down to the team at MG. And for myself and Simon, we're very grateful for everything they've done for us. I mean, I think MG were excellent value for money. And particularly what we did at the time, we thought, well, with the flat, for example, could we bring on board a company that could just, where we would have that flexibility, where we'd go and do the viewings and they just do the listing for us. But when we looked in, whilst it was a lot cheaper, the reality is we knew we wouldn't get that level of support. And when we looked into the small print, it was clear that MG, you're dealing with experts. And that was the difference, that we had those experts and we knew we could always, if there was a problem or you needed help, there was always someone on the other end of the line to say, don't worry, we're sorting this, we're on top of this for you, let us take this forward for you. And that's what you got from MG, worth every penny in our view. When it came to North Finchley branch, Craig's been obviously at the branch for many, many years. He just knows he knows North Finchley inside out. And similarly, Fatmir as well. You've got that reliance. They know the area. They talk to you about other properties in the area and using that comparison, say, look, we're selling this property at the moment. And it's the way they take you through. You know, there's obviously that local knowledge and that experience. They know across this area, you only have to name the road you're moving to and they know it well. And they've sold a house on that road and so on. And that's what you want in terms of their professional knowledge. And similarly with East Finchley as well, Andreas and Gabriella, they just get it. They've been in the area. They know East Finchley really well. And the fact is, by having that support, they know all the area, the local estates where a flat might be selling, and they're able to use that comparison and give you the right value for your property, and be able to obviously push those pinpoints that you would expect to see in the market, those push points that are going to obviously appeal to the buyers as well. We know by working with Craig, working with Fatmir, and obviously seeing what we've seen from the hard work on part of Andreas and Gabriella and East Finchley, the reality is there is that level of trust there, because when you obviously engage them at that stage, as soon as they're engaged at the very early stage, even before obviously you've even signed your contract with them, they're already working to push things forward. And you can see straight away that you build that quick rapport with them, and you know that you're in safe hands, and obviously parties that you can trust. The photographs that were taken, the photographer just got the right photographs and really pulled out some great traditional features, being a Victorian property that would appeal to the market as well. And they did exactly the same as well. The flat, they went in, got some lovely photos. The light came through wonderfully, and that was the thing. It drew a lot of attention, had a lot of feedback as well. That was the beauty of it, was the feedback as well that we received in relation to that. The people were able to look at the marketing and say, it's not, in some you see this even on the news recently, that they talk about obviously the changes that could be made through obviously AI now, and obviously the changes that some agents have made to photographs for certain properties. But that wasn't what you witnessed here. I mean, the reality was they obtained what I describe as very honest, very practical photos, but still at the same time utilizing obviously the right levels of light. And for us, that made a big difference, because the feedback was very clear from any viewings. They said it was very representative of what was in the marketing package as well. So that was really what we wanted to see. The final thing I want to add on this is that by Fatmir, for example, by going down outside of his own area, by going down to East Finchley and then carrying out the viewings on our behalf, that we couldn't have asked for more in that regard. That was such a nice touch in terms of the support that it gave us. We're really grateful for that, because it was having someone who really was obviously helping out by fighting our corner, along with obviously the East Finchley branch, but they were really trying to do everything they could to get the flat sold, and sold in a very difficult market as well. So yeah, I'm really grateful for those efforts there. I felt it was very personal, and I think that's what we noticed with MG. There is that personal touch. I mean, they really get to know everyone, get to know obviously your kids, and come in and have a chat with everyone. And that feels much more sort of family orientated as well. And I think that's the difference. And we notice around in North Finchley, for example, you can't look anywhere without obviously seeing MG signs everywhere, because MG obviously, we obviously, a number of our neighbours are selling at the moment as well because they're looking to upsize. Everyone's using MG, and it's right, because everyone has such a great experience with Craig and Fatmere, and the work that they do in North Finchley has made a big difference for all of us. And I think it goes down towards that personal touch, that they've got the emotional intelligence that you want an estate agent to see, to possess and be able to offer to their clients. Nobody wants an estate agent that's going to come in and tell you how to do things. They do it in a very gentle way and advise you, rather than saying, this is what you need to do. So that's really what we really sort of like, that sort of manner on their part. And I think that's something that will always hold MG in good stead, because you see that across the board, whether it's in East Finchley, Muswell Hill, or Whetstone, or North Finchley. It's all those areas that MG operate in a very effective and supportive way for their clients. So the reason I'm doing this testimonial is because I do want others to see how great MG are. And I think looking at what the experience that we've had over since 2016 with MG, I can only speak positively of them. I'm always happy to recommend MG because of the support they've given us. They've helped us obviously find the home that we're in, help us sell the home, and obviously support us in obviously selling our flat. And I think if I'd had a bad experience of MG, I'd be obviously the one saying that here to you today. But the reality is, over the years that we've worked with MG, we've never had a bad experience with them. We've only felt supported. And in fact, in a difficult housing market, they've always obviously nurtured our own ambitions and interests in terms of properties, and supported us in terms of going forward. Like I said, to sell this house in 8 days, I don't think I could have asked for more in those circumstances. They really did pull out all the stops, and they were so close to the asking price as well. It was just really more than we could have expected. In this market, we even expected that we would be looking at a lot less than our asking price. But this is the clear thing. You've got strong negotiations on part of your estate agents, and MG are really there because they know that they can offer that level of support to their clients, but at the same time balancing the interests of the buyers as well. And I think we've also noticed that one thing here with obviously Craig and Fatmere, and across to Andreas and Gabriella and East Finchley, that there is always that fairness as well. So there's that balance. They're looking at the interests of both parties. The clients who, of course, are selling, but also those that are buying as well, and making sure that everyone's interests are accounted for. So really positive experience across the board for us with MG. A number of our friends are using them at the moment. So we've got friends who are currently selling a property through MG in New Barnet. Obviously, our neighbours are currently selling through MG on our recommendation as well. And we just would continue to keep pushing that forward, because we think MG have done a great job for us. And from everyone else we speak to as well, always says the same. MG have done such a great job in terms of selling properties and supporting those who are buying through them as well. Like I said, I could only positively recommend them.